Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Layman's Guide to the Multiverse, where we dive between the panels and break through the fourth wall. I'm your host, Matt, and with me I got Paolo.
Hello, we're doing introductions?
We're doing introductions. We are not going to let this coronavirus get the best of us. We're going back to the old ways. I got Paolo.
We're doing introductions?
Okay, I got Ed.
Hey, how's it going?
And we got Mike.
I like this introduction.
Good, right?
Yeah, right. We're staying positive. We're staying positive.
Yeah, but
I mean,
listen, I'll be honest with you guys. I am feeling super negative today.
I'm the best.
Why? Dude, we're doing an episode on Dr. Doom's minions, the Doom Patrol.
How dare you?
Oh,
How dare
I thought
you.
there was a crossover between Doctor Doom and then DreamWorks, the Minions movie.
Ooh.
Can I get that?
No, it's the Nickelodeon cartoon, Doom Patrol, where they take a bunch of Doom bots and they're like animals, and they save a bunch of Canadians that want to hire like a real rescue squad.
They're saving money.
Doom Patrol.
Oh God, no!
I've been in lockdown for 10 weeks with 2 little children. Okay, I have an excuse.
He's got his Paw Patrol headcanon over here.
I like that.
Right.
I thought you were going to throw me an arbitrary number, and I'm like, it has been that long, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah.
Corona land is real.
Well, you've been stuck with the kids. The rest of us have been stuck with either people or significant others. So
Yeah, but hey, I've been stuck here with my my freeloading cat.
yeah, same here.
Pretty much yell at her every day to go get a job.
Constantly trying to take my job.
Oh, well, we know. Don't worry. Your cat sends me emails once in a while, and it's just, no, I'm trying to steal Paulo's job, Ed. It's really weird. Like, I didn't realize your cat could use a keyboard, like, let alone the internet.
Your cat's very good.
My cat just sits
Yeah,
in my
like-
basement and reads my comic books, I think.
We gotta get Jackie on the podcast.
We should.
We gotta.
She'll just
She probably knows at this point. She's probably read more comics than we have.
probably, yeah.
I definitely slept on more.
I mean, she's always dressed like she's ready to go out, with her tuxedo and everything, but
Oh, that's so cute.
That's adorable. Which I hate
That's so
because my
cute.
cat also has a tuxedo on all the time.
Oh, I think my cat technically has one on too.
I don't have a cat.
Way to make it dark, Mike. Way to make it dark.
Hey, what? I've never had a cat. Okay, no darkness.
Spoilers, Mike is one of the aliens from Alf.
Holy shit.
Oh God.
Oh, I must be starving. I've never had a cat.
Or that's the reason you don't have a cat.
Ah,
Just keep eating it.
Delicious.
Well,
You keep eating it like it's the same cat that gets regurgitated.
I got a cloning machine.
I'm pretty sure cat regurgitation is the name of my new metal band. Like it's
well, this is starting to sound as weird as an episode of Doom Patrol, I dare say.
Gosh, it was so
You're not wrong.
good.
Bringing it back in.
Tell me like cat regurgitator isn't the name of a Doom Patrol villain.
I feel
Yeah.
like it would be.
It could be.
Or a hero. It could be a hero.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So,
Robot Man?
Really? Robot Man, Negative Man, Elastowoman?
Yeah.
Cat
that's the woman.
regurgitator? It sounds about right. Cyborg?
Cyborg.
so they got season 2 coming out, end of June?
End of next month.
Yeah, end of June, season 2. We've all seen
Can't come soon enough.
season 1, and it was fantastic, I have to say.
We have all seen it, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
I remember the last time we saw it, one of us hadn't seen it
At all. Right?
at all.
Correct.
Yeah. Last time we tried to do this. In case you guys didn't realize, this is our 5th attempt to do a Doom Patrol episode. We've shelved all the other ones.
It's like it's a second try.
It's a second try. The first time I couldn't pronounce Alan Tudyk's name, and right, and it was just.
Alan Two Ducks.
Helen Two Ducks.
Alan Two Ducks.
But overall, really weird show, and the history of Doom Patrol I also find to be hilarious. Didn't it start off as like the inspiration for like the X-Men, and then like it just got weird?
Yeah, so the story, and I forget the writer, like I forget the creative team behind that comic, but the rumor is that like Stan Lee was at the same party that some of the other guys were at, and they were talking about like, hey, we've got this new team coming out, or this new team book coming out. So what I find is pretty interesting is if you look at the first cover of Doom Patrol and the first cover of the X-Men, it's a lot of the same wording. Like I think the Doom Patrol tagline is like the world's strangest heroes.
Mhm.
And like the X-Men really like have like, you know, the world's like most different heroes or something. Like it's a lot of the same stuff on the cover, and Doom Patrol only predates the X-Men by like 2 months.
Okay. But I mean, like the whole concept though, where they got like, you know, a guy in a wheelchair running the show.
Yeah.
There's a few parallels.
Yeah, there's a ton.
I mean, like I didn't really notice any outside of that though. I mean, just going off of the first season on DC Universe.
Oh yeah. No. The TV show takes a lot of its it takes its inspiration less from the original run and a lot more from like say your Grant Morrison run or like your Keith Giffen or a Gerard Way.
So just to add to that comment that you made about the creative team, so the writer Arnold Drake was the man who wrote the first Doom Patrol story, and he states that he's become more and more convinced that Stan Lee knowingly stole the X-Men from the Doom Patrol. And
Excelsior.
yeah, over the years he's learned that an awful lot of writers and artists were both working superciliously between Marvel and DC. Therefore, from when I first brought the idea to DC's editor, so pretty much he claims that he made that just before he died in 2007 in that interview.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Where he started saying that he's gone back and forth saying whether he's like adamant that it was a stolen idea, or other times it's like, yeah, there's similarities, but it's like, I
mean, if it legitimately was a stolen idea, it wouldn't have been the first time.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Absolutely. At that point, I feel like comic books were stealing from each other constantly.
Mm-hmm. You could say that about any kind of media at this point.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Marvel's the Louis Garcia of comic books, I guess.
What is it? There's no original idea anymore, I believe, is what I forget what it is.
Why do I think Louis Garcia? Who's Louis Garcia? Who's Louis Garcia?
Carlos Mencia.
Couldn't remember it. He hasn't been relevant for nearly 20 years, so what do we care?
He hasn't been relevant since Joe Rogan called him out for stealing jokes.
Joe Rogan blew his shit up. What's it called? The Comedy Store?
Yes.
If you haven't seen that clip, please go check it out.
I remember one time I actually went to go look that up, and the only reason I even discussed it is because it's relevant to, like, you know, people stealing ideas from comic books to other medias. But the I found the clip like by accident. I was like, holy shit, I did not know this, because he just disappeared off TV at one point, just randomly.
Yeah. Carlos Mencia just disappeared.
Like, and he hasn't done anything since then. Since like he got called out by Joe Rogan, nothing from this man.
I just love that Rogan starts calling him by his real name. Like his actual name is like Ned something or other.
Oh, that's funny. I gotta rewatch that clip. It's been forever since I've seen it.
It's good.
I mean,
so friend of the show, Joe Rogan, please give us a shout out.
Right?
This shit is crazy.
Look at that. Mencia gets some contact with Joe Rogan. He starts doing DMT and he loses his show. There you go. But back to Doom Patrol. Okay, so yeah, comic book writers stealing ideas from each other. I mean, like a lot of the characters going off of it. I mean, you got Robot Man, you got is it Elastic Girl or Elastic Woman? I couldn't remember.
Both. I think it started as girl and then eventually graduated to woman, and now I think they just refer to her by her name.
They just refer to her name in the show. Yeah,
she's just Rita now.
Yeah, you had Jane. I believe she was originally called Crazy Jane.
Yes.
And I'm always going to screw this up. And then you have Negative Man.
Yes.
Larry Trainer, Negative Man.
Right. And in the TV show, the big bad was Mr. Nobody.
Mr. Nobody. Yes.
I always confuse Negative Man and Mr. Nobody.
Honestly, played by the fantastic Alan Tudyk.
Oh, because he just chews the scenery in the show.
Alan Tudyk is great in that show.
Just spoke directly to camera.
No.
All the time.
No, and honestly, he's been fantastic in every DC thing that he's been put on.
Yeah.
He was also, speaking of that, and a shout out again to DC. He does the voice of the Joker in the Harley Quinn TV show. He does the voice of Clayface and all the characters that Clayface plays in the TV show. It's just
so good.
So good. And he did something else too recently with them. I don't remember what the heck it was all of a sudden.
I know he was on that show. Was it Powers? What the hell was the name of that show? Where,
Oh no, he was no, that show that didn't last. It was supposed to be a kind of like an office with an insurance company that they were supposed to be
set in Metropolis.
Yeah, set in Metropolis. So it was like an insurance company that was like the insurance company for all like superheroes that like they covered the damages and stuff.
Yeah, they cover all the collateral damage caused by like the super fights.
That was the name of the show, I believe. Collateral. I think so.
I mean, that's a great premise.
It is a great premise.
Unfortunately, it didn't make it to actual show.
No, I thought it was they ordered a season. I thought they ordered like a 6 to 8 episode season, and they only aired like 4 episodes before they pulled the plug.
I was afraid you're going to tell me he was part of that show Krypton. Man, I don't want to watch that anymore. That show.
Was it any good?
No,
I heard it was surprisingly all right.
I couldn't get into it.
I hate the concept of like we're gonna do like a prequel show, but also it's not.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
There's a lot of time like Superman time travels back to Krypton. I think is the premise. Right?
No. It's the events leading up to Krypton's demise.
Yes. It was before. No. Krypton was actually a couple of 100 years before Krypton exploded, if I recall correctly. It wasn't his father; it was his ancestor,
his grandfather. Yeah.
But yeah. So going back to what we were discussing, Powerless was the name of the TV show.
There it is.
Makes sense.
The series was officially canceled on May 11th, 2017. We got a total of the pilot was ordered, pulled the final 3 episodes from the series from its schedule. The other episodes were made available on TVNZ On Demand.
What is that?
I have no idea what that is, but there were 12 episodes total. Vanessa Hudgens was a main character on there. She played, Vanessa Hudgens, Danny Putty, and Alan Tudyk was the boss. He was the boss of Wayne Security, who was the son of Vanderveer Wayne Sr., cousin of Bruce Wayne. I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm gonna have to go out and look for this show, and we may have to watch it.
I'm down. I'm so down.
But yeah, I that he's been great in everything that he's done. He chews every scene with such glee in Doom Patrol, just constantly looking at the camera.
Well, I feel like a leaf on the wind, man.
Oh boy, too soon.
I mean, you do know how Reavers clean their spears, right?
Go on.
Do you?
No, I do not. I don't know.
They run them through a wash.
Terrible.
I don't know who stole that joke from somebody.
I think you stole it from me.
I think so. It was horrible.
From Carlos.
Yeah,
it's topical.
It's just signals, Mal. It's just signals.
Regardless, he's great in that show.
Oh yeah, everything about that show is great. But from what I can gather, it seems like everything up until Grant Morrison got his hands on it, it seems like your typical 1960s pulp comic book.
Yeah,
everything was a pulp comic back then. The 1960s were not very revolutionary for comics.
No, it was very much still like this shit's for kids. They tried to do a couple of things that were a little oddball with them. But again, it was the 60s. You know, they rebooted them a couple of times into the 70s, but it really wasn't until like Grant Morrison, like they were looking to revitalize the IP, and they were like, we got this hotshot writer from the UK, so let's give him let's give him something, and then let's give him the ball and see what he does. And he just went, left with it instead of right.
Grant Morrison, right?
That kid's going somewhere.
Yeah, whatever happened to him after he wrote that? Gee, I wonder.
I don't think he did anything else.
No, just Doom Patrol, and that's it.
Yeah. Kid had promise.
Yeah, right? No. What I find interesting about that though is they gave him Doom Patrol, they gave him Animal Man, and he successfully turned those into must-read runs. Which they eventually were like, okay, we're gonna reboot Justice League because that wasn't doing too hot in the mid '90s. So they were like, well, we did it twice and it worked. So third time's the charm. Grant, kill this, please. And his run on JLA is fantastic.
He killed it.
He did.
Good times. But All right, so Grant Morrison's Doom Patrol. I mean, because that's, as you said, that's what the show's based off of, and I mean, it's been very successful. I want to say.
Yeah, I was surprised that like when they when Warner started talking about the HBO Max streaming service, that they were like, yeah, we're taking these DCU shows and we're throwing it on there. I'm like, really?
I mean, they're supposed to be doing a lot more DC shows on that HBO Max platform, namely because I feel like they're realizing the opportunity that comes with what DC TV shows they have out that are not the CW shows.
Well, that too, and I feel like DC Universe outside of nerds like us doesn't seem very popular.
No, you're 100% right. Like it's a niche. So like streaming services, I don't want to say are niche, but like they're starting to get that way because like how many streaming services are you willing to pay for? Right?
Yeah.
You do a quick Google search. There's at least 15 to 20 different.
Yeah, there's quite
there's
a bit,
15
right?
to 20 that are worth your time. Go on the Roku
Like oh my
shop
god, that
channel.
Roku shop channel, yeah.
They have so many damn streaming channels, and
Listen,
plenty
some
gotta
of
pay
them
for.
some of them are very, very specific stuff too. They serve very niche categories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's so splintered.
Yeah, so like it makes sense that they're like, oh, these shows are doing well and that they're critically acclaimed. Let's put them on a platform where more eyes are going to get on.
I'm pretty sure there is a channel specifically for rats that teach martial arts. Speaking of splinters.
All right, I can think of one, but where are the others?
I did say niche.
Oh wow, what a thin slice of pizza.
Oh, shell shock.
Regardless, but no, they're seeing the opportunity there. There's a lot more. I think there's a rumor of a Green Lantern TV show. They're going to do another one.
Are we getting J.J. Abrams on that too? Or was that Justice League Dark? Or is it both?
I don't recall which one that was going to be. I think it might be both.
I don't know how I feel about that.
How much lens flares are going to be on every single one of the Green Lantern's constructs?
How many mystery boxes is he going to throw out?
Listen,
So many.
the Green Lantern Corps lives off lens flares, okay? So let's be honest, they got the right man for the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, the rings no longer run on willpower, they're going to run on lens flare.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the fucking lens flare on Starkiller Base when it was blowing up that planet?
Oh, God.
Yes, I did actually.
JJ is just like, my career has been leading up to this moment.
It was in this moment that I knew what I was here for.
What I was born to do.
Dude, if he was a DBZ character, his finishing maneuver would be a solar flare.
I love it.
He'd be Krillin.
Ooh.
No. Krillin stole that move from Tien. Let's get that right. Tien was the one who did that first.
Tien is so cool and also a jobber. It's such a bummer.
I mean, his best moment is the end of that cell fight in the original Dragon Ball Z, like just before Goku shows up and saves him, where
he's like, throwing out the fucking solar flares.
No, they weren't solar flares. They're the
tri-beams, bro.
Kikoho,
oh,
motherfucker.
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It's got 3 sides to that beam.
Honestly, Team 4-Star does that better than the actual regular series. They really do.
Oh yeah, it is incredible.
It's incredible.
It's incredible.
Listening to him yell at Cell and Cell just going, so you stop doing that.
Oh man, but yeah, though, yeah, Doom Patrol. Topic of the day.
What?
How the hell did they get Brendan Fraser?
What else is he doing?
Dude, Brendan Fraser. Okay, if you recall, so when the first season came out, he had just gotten done paying his alimony payments.
Right.
If I recall correctly.
Oh, that's really...
So that man was it is his first job out of alimony payments. So now
honestly,
he's able to make that money.
Because of course,
he did.
Because of course, the first thing they do when he show Brendan Fraser is zoom in on his ass.
I mean, I feel like that's on brand at that point.
Yeah, that's the ass that beat the mummy. You got to show it.
I don't know if you're listening to this episode. I really hope you've already seen season 1, because
I think at this point we're gonna have to spoil some stuff.
There is some stuff that we're gonna have to spoil because, I mean, at the end of the season, you get to see a roach and a rat make out. So
Yeah, that does
That's
happen.
a thing. Yeah.
What a highlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost forgot about
And
that.
they were gigantic too, and they were on Danny the Street.
Yeah.
God, that show is weird.
Like Danny, like the best way I can explain this show is just a quote from it.
Yeah.
The butts are loose.
Yeah.
followed by a gunshot.
So like, okay, for starters, Danny, he starts off as a street. He becomes a brick. At some point, he becomes an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're spoiling things from the comics, but yes.
What?
That's okay.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
we should probably explain who Danny is.
I was about to say, how did he start off? He wasn't.
Danny
Did he start off?
Danny is a. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, was he a Grant Morrison creation?
Yes.
Okay.
That makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Yep. Danny. Yeah. Danny the Street is a sentient transgender street.
That's what he is.
I will repeat that. He's a sentient transgender street.
No, we get it. We all know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen it. So we know.
Yeah.
We understand.
No, I'm just saying like that. That's a ridiculous sentence because like who else than that Scottish bastard is coming up with a character like that? Like that's fucking off the wall.
He was on all the drugs when he wrote that.
Off the street.
Yeah.
He actually was.
Grant Morrison is always on drugs.
He is a drug.
I don't know if he is anymore, but he definitely was in the late 80s and the early 90s. Like he doesn't remember writing a lot of his Justice League run because he was trying to recreate a like this ridiculous hallucinogenic experience he had in Kathmandu.
How does one recreate a hallucinogenic experience that occurred to you in Kathmandu?
You take a bunch of acid, DMT, and mushrooms at the same time.
Cool. I love it.
What a cocktail.
You're in?
Oh my god.
And you pray to the correct snake god, not the one that Alan Moore prays to.
Yeah.
Gotta get all the sigils.
Well, you gotta wonder, did Alan Moore pray to the right snake god, or did Grant Morrison pray to the right snake god? Like, which one?
That's a really good
which
question.
one is more successful? Like,
I mean,
Alan,
in the general public's eyes, I'd argue more Alan Moore.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, did Alan Moore ever want that kind of popularity?
I don't think he ever did.
No.
I think he just wanted to write.
Yeah.
And then his writings blew up, and then people were like, "I own this," and he's like, "Well, I guess that's."
But
fine.
do you want more, or do you want more son?
Ooh.
I want more, son.
I just hope season 2 picks up a lot of like the more ridiculous or the more like really outlandish ideas of the Doom Patrol comics. Like one of the major bad guys of Morrison's run on Doom Patrol is the Brotherhood of Dadaism.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
was
my
so
God.
excited for that.
Like there's a character, like there's a person in that group. Their power set is that they have every superpower you haven't thought of. So like you start rattling off powers and they start losing them.
So good.
That's
Oh, wow.
what? How does
Yeah.
that?
So good.
You know, somehow
Like-
you can make that work. Like that whole thing with the book, the words
Mhm.
from the first season, that was fucking out there.
Oh, with the cult?
Yeah, the cult.
That's actually lifted straight from the comic.
What's the name of that cult? I forgot.
I don't remember.
Then you got like weird stuff like the Beard Hunter.
That's
the
gross,
Beard Hunter.
dude.
I think that was also from Morrison's run. But
love
the character is a little bit different.
The cult
like
of the unwritten book. I'm sorry.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Beard Hunter was I think a Morrison character, but they modernized the take for the TV show because like if they're going to use the one straight from the comic, it's a little problematic. And 2019 I think is when the show came out. But even now, it's in 2020. It's a little problematic. He plays like I forget if he's like if he's closeted and like he's like a self-hating gay guy.
So yeah, they would have needed to
lashes
that.
out.
Yeah, they would have needed to modernize that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I'm sure that there's that still happens, but like the take is very negative.
I forget if in this show if they outright said he was gay or not, but I do definitely remember they at least
They
hinted to it.
definitely brought up the fact that he was closeted about something in his life. I don't forget
There's-
what he was closeted about though.
Very overt hints
Yeah.
with the way he was
Yeah,
acting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, towards the end, you find that out because he goes to live on. I believe he goes to live on Danny.
He lives on Danny, yeah.
Yeah,
He does,
Yeah.
yeah.
and
he's like,
and Danny helps him become like who he's supposed to be, so to speak. Like frees him from his that what he's keeping down. I forget what the hell it was though.
I don't remember. Either.
All
It's been a
I
while.
know is the name of one of the other villains of the show, which isn't even really a villain, but just it's there, is Animal Vegetable Mineral Man.
Yeah.
That's from I think the original run in the 60s.
Oh.
Yes, the first appearance is Doom Patrol Volume 1, number 89, August 1964. The only reason I know this is because I had to look it up because I couldn't remember his name. I don't remember if it was Dinosaur Animal Vegetable Man or if it was... I remember it was... There was a dinosaur head attached to him. It was a guy, and he had different appendages.
They had fucking celery coming out of one of his hands.
I just love in the show he was always like in the background doing crimes. Like, he's never like they never dealt with him. He's just kind of doing his own thing.
Or if he wasn't doing crimes, the dinosaur was trying to.
And, and it was even funnier too. Is in the show he was played by Alec Mappa, who's like this really really funny comedian.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So like he is like the furthest thing from the like what you would think of the guy playing a villain.
Right.
That's so good.
But it's still a comedic villain.
He's a
totally
totally comedic villain, but he's if you see what he looks like, he's like the short Asian gay comedian.
He absolutely has a stalk of celery coming out of his hand. That's his hand.
I love it. It's so stupid.
His arm is made of wood. He's got a dinosaur, a raptor head specifically, and a human head. We're still wearing glasses and minerals along his body. It's pretty freaking gruesome and also fantastic.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah, man.
Needless to say, just everything about that is just the show is bonkers.
And it's bonkers in the best way possible.
It's like, remember like those girls on MySpace back in the mid 2000s that were like, LOL, so random, penguin. It's like that if it was actually funny and good.
Penguin's hilarious.
I mean, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, you're not. I mean, when your show pretty much opens up with like a wide shot of Brendan Fraser's ass, like you kind of know what you're in for.
Was that the first episode?
Yeah.
That was the first episode, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, he was cheating on his wife and pegging somebody that floozy that he met at his racing event.
No, she was no. She was the
nanny.
The nanny. Yeah, thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
right. Shit.
It was the nanny.
Messed up my episodes, but yeah, he plays a real piece of crap in the beginning.
Yeah, he does, and it works. Like he comes off like a fucking slime ball, but like all the extra weight he put on is like, ugh.
That whole character arc is fucking
great,
brutal, and great because you get to see the results of his actions. You get to see his what he goes through to get to where he is now, and you get to see the effect that it has on him.
Yeah, he has actual character growth. And really, we should kind of explain who Robot Man is. Cliff Steele was a race car driver, a professional race car driver. Got into an accident. I think in the comics, he got into an accident on the track itself. But I think in the show, he gets into a car accident as he's driving home from one of the races.
I don't want to. Yeah. He gets into a car accident. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. That's all I was going to say. He gets into a car accident. Dies, or at least everybody thinks he's dead. But he gets his brain transplanted into the body of a robot, so he's now Robot Man.
Yeah, he has. So one of the things you have to make mention also is the fact that as a Robot Man, he can't feel anything.
Correct.
So he doesn't feel like when people touch him, he doesn't feel like anything. He has to relearn how to use his body. You get to see all of that, and all of that is fucking brutal to watch.
Yeah. I mean, like you hear, they took his brain and put it in a robot's body. You think like RoboCop. It's like, no, he's kind of just like an iron golem.
Yeah. He looks very rudimentary. Like a cheap robot.
Like he has more in common with like the Thing.
They and that's the thing too. He was built, I think, in the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
In the show.
Show, yeah.
Yes.
I think they even allude to him like being even outdated for the 80s.
Yeah, there was something about that. But needless to say, like I have never seen as much emotion come out of a robot.
Non-emoting robot.
Non-emoting robot. That's really what you get from that is a non-emoting robot that you at one point you almost want to cry because you feel bad for everything that's going on in the story. Like and that is just one example of like what you care about these characters. but everything else is also fucking bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably dive into that after we take ourselves a little breaky break.
That sounds like a plan. I'm pretty thirsty right now.
Ooh.
We'll be back.
All right, and we're back.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, so yeah, we talked about a lot of stuff in the first half. We'll start breaking it down.
Ooh.
So my big question is, how different was the Morrison run different than the TV show, really?
I don't want to I don't want to be like this apples and oranges. Because like the TV show does take a lot from like especially that first trade. Like that scene with Crazy Jane and Robot Man from like one of the first couple episodes when she's like painting outside and it rains.
Mm-hmm.
That's lifted straight from the comic.
Sure.
And like so is the dialogue.
I like that scene.
It's a great scene.
It's really good. And a lot of the characters, a lot of the concepts are like they're brought to TV, and like things might change a little bit. But it's pretty like if you're looking to read something that's as crazy as that TV show, or if you're looking to watch something that's as crazy as like one of the more off the wall comics you've read, Doom Patrol's the place to go.
Yeah, so the TV show had like pretty much one overarching villain.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the same for like comics Doom Patrol? Because they seem to be kind of all over the place.
Depending on the storyline, like, and the way that Grant Morrison will write a story is like he'll have plot threads throughout.
Oh yeah,
everything.
For sure.
So
yeah.
It is one whole cohesive story, but he'll start throwing other villains into the mix while like a Mr. Nobody is still kind of in the background plotting his next thing.
Okay.
Because if I remember correctly, he was the one that was running the Brotherhood of Dadaism.
Oh, okay. Oh, that I think I did remember that, which is why I was expecting them to be in the first season. I'm like, I need those art villains.
Yo,
but I was upset I didn't get to see them. So hopefully season 2.
If you don't know what Dadaism, if I remember correctly, it is art for the sake of art. It's like art for art's sake.
It's almost like anti-art. It was like an art movement. I don't know much about it, but essentially it includes that picture of a latrine with like a word written on it, and that's like one of the original pieces.
Huh.
It's actually fantastic.
Yeah.
It's an avant-garde intellectual movement that started around World War I. Although not at first as an art movement, it did influence art greatly for a time. Sorry, I'm literally reading off Wikipedia. Because
it's great. I
have no idea what the hell Dadaism is, if I'm honest with you.
Also,
if you Google it, you'll see that latrine. Yeah.
But that you're absolutely right. There is just a latrine there. That's the first image there. It's weird. That's weird. That's the only way really to describe it. Surrealism, pop art, punk rock, span visual, literal, and sound media, including collage, sound of poetry, cut-up writing, and sculpture. The whole point of Dadaism was to prove that anything could be art if the artist declared it to be. Dude.
Yeah.
I am art.
Yeah.
Because I say I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people have to agree.
I disagree.
I mean, that's a little harder to do.
Oh man. So you mean to tell me that line in Full Metal Jacket where he says, "You're so ugly, you could be a modern art masterpiece." So you're saying that Private was Dadaism?
Yeah,
sure. Yeah.
That's how that works, man.
There we go. He should have taken it as thank you, sir.
Well, apparently Dadaism influenced surrealism, pop art, and punk rock of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. It's a very anti-establishment. It's like, you can't tell us what art is. I say what art is.
But I mean, like,
that's kind of fantastic.
It's kind of funny though, because like the show, as chaotic as it was, this was something I kind of got out of the Gerard Way run in one of the afterwards he had in the trade. He was mentioning how it was so interesting because one of the big scenes in the TV show was that they all sit down for a therapy session.
Oh, that's a great episode.
I
too.
love that episode.
I mean, do we want to give I don't mean to cut you off, Matt. Do we want to give a quick breakdown of like the characters in the show? Because I realize we haven't really done
That's
that.
what I was going to kind of get to and work it backwards, was because like all the characters, they all have huge flaws. You know, we're talking before about the Robot Man. Horrible adulterer, you know, treated his wife like trash, kind of didn't give a shit about his daughter for the most part, I want to say, if I remember correctly.
No, that was the only thing he cared about.
Oh, okay.
That was the only thing he cared about.
Yeah, I mean, he was neglectful because he was being a fucking dickhead about everything else. So
that's kind of what
but he did care.
It was one of his regrets for sure. Yeah.
But you had that. You had Negative Man, who in the Morrison run, he was a closet homosexual. But was he gay in the 60s though? Because like I can't imagine getting away with that back then.
So he wasn't in the comic. Like Larry Trainor isn't. In the Grant Morrison run, Negative Man is technically just a negative being. He ends up getting, or the negative entity that lives in Negative Man ends up merging with Larry Trainor and like the nurse in the hospital he was in.
Mm-hmm.
So it just becomes like this like transcendent host person for this negative being. Which those are kind of his powers. He wears a in the comics. The reason he's wearing the bandages is the bandages will keep the entity inside him. And he's able to like let that be. He's able to let the being out, but also control it for I think like a minute or so before like his body starts failing.
Right. Yeah. Because in the TV show, he just wore the bandages because he was just disfigured. I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, the power set is pretty much the same. But the character of Larry Trainor is a closeted Air Force pilot.
In the TV show,
Am I
yeah,
right there?
yeah.
I think you're right.
Yeah, and he got the negative entity because he went up too high and some celestial thing got in him.
It's very Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you have Elastic Girl / woman. It's
Rita Fair.
Yes,
Rita Farr.
Rita
Farr, excuse me.
which was funny because you first explain her, you think of like, you know, she's DC's answer to Mr. Fantastic, but at least her portrayal in the TV show, it was more like no, she just kind of like becomes like Akira.
Yeah.
I'd say more of a blob person, a blob thing.
That's what he means at the end of Akira.
Yeah. Did you not see Akira? Yeah. You know where there's
okay, hold on. I'm about to
I don't know.
Hold on.
Spoilers for Akira in this episode.
spoilers. Yeah.
I have never finished watching Akira.
Ooh.
I say it's beautifully animated. Do it.
Yeah.
Watch it.
I remember. This is years ago at this point. I ended up just giving that a go one afternoon and was like, wow, this is really well animated, and that's about it.
It's a really good technical achievement, and you really can't appreciate it in modern times because so much of what made it great in the 80s is now just digitized, and like, you know, weekly shonen animes have what made it great. Like,
you could say the same thing about like Watchmen.
Yeah, it's
is that why? Like, I feel like I'll watch Akira, I'm just gonna be like, okay.
Yeah, like it's an okay story, but it's technically wise, it's great though.
So it's not like Cowboy Bebop that just constantly stays good. Like
yeah, no, it's and that's a hot take, because I'm sure we're gonna have a million anime fans giving us shit for that statement.
Yeah, that's fair. I personally I love Akira, so like I'm fine. It's fine. I get it.
But yeah,
teach their own. Teach their own. I
exactly.
Like I know I'll get grief for thinking that Watchmen is not the best fucking comic ever printed.
Yeah, I mean it's great.
It's okay.
But yeah, Rita Fair. She can turn into this huge fleshy blob and cancel the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Oh shit.
Well, her whole thing was not she okay. The whole blob form is because she can't maintain her form. And the reason she can't maintain her form is her own crippling self-anxiety. About the issues that she had. Like, she has very serious issues with her body as a result of everything that happened to her. So because of that, she can't maintain her form. unless she like actively focuses on it. It's a whole big thing that it gets covered in that therapy episode.
Yeah,
and she's also horribly vain because she was a big name actress back in the 50s.
Yes, when she had an accident while filming a film, and that's what caused the deformity. And then, if I remember correctly, the professor. Sorry, what is it? The doctor?
Niles called.
Yeah, that was called. What did he go by? What was his?
I think it was his
I
doctor.
think doctor
they
or
call
professor.
Him Chief. They call him Chief.
Oh, Chief. Yeah, Chief. That's what it was. Yeah, and then the Chief saves her, fixes her from her problem, helps her kind of. I wouldn't say master it, but definitely kind of helps her no longer be a blobbish form.
Yeah, but like in the show, like every single time she has like a moment of high anxiety, she kind of like starts to melt. Like at one point I do remember her like being able to slide through vents, but like you hear that she's called Elastic Woman, and then you expect a Fantastic Four, and I don't remember her ever like doing like any cool, Mr. Fantastic feats. It was mostly
Mr. Fantastic does nothing cool. He just stretches and has a
That's
brain.
pretty cool.
He has a brain that he can continuously stretch out and refold, so he has more space for learning more things.
He has more space for brain.
More brain space.
All right, there, Dr. Doom.
Hey.
Ultimate Reed Richards is really good.
Yeah,
but that's a whole nother story.
That is a whole nother story.
And then the last member in the TV show, at least, was Jane.
There was Jane. There was
Cyborg.
was also technically a member of the team. And how dare you leave out Flex Mentallo?
Oh my God, Flex Mentallo! But Flex Mentallo doesn't show up until later on.
Yeah, I was about to say he's kind of a B character.
We can dive into shit, Matt. Who did you just say?
We were talking about Jane. The big four in the show, at least, are Jane, Rita, Robot Man, and Negative Man.
Yes.
See, I got to give credit also to the actress who played Jane. I forget her name.
I forget her name
she
too,
did
but she's
such
fantastic.
She did such a great job. So the thing with Jane is she has multiple personalities, and each personality has a different power. And that was kind of the big shtick. And like she would randomly go into a different personality and would have a completely different power set, and they wouldn't remember. They would remember, but like it was layers of like trauma that was causing that whole thing. But like the characters were so different that the personalities were so different. You could actually like see the actress making sure that she was not playing that same character.
Yeah, she did a fantastic job.
It's real good.
Really good.
Like if somebody like a Brendan Fraser playing Robot Man grabbed me, that I was like, oh, okay, I got to keep watching this. Crazy Jane made me stay.
Yeah, I definitely stay for Jane.
Yeah,
she's the best.
She is played by Diane Guerrero, who, if you remember, who you know her from, she was in Orange is the New Black. She is one of the more ditzy characters that I did not even recognize was her.
There you go.
Well, that's how good of an actress she is. I did not recognize her as playing that character.
Well, to be fair, most of the actresses in Orange is the New Black aren't wearing any makeup, and they got their hair in kind of bad, It took me forever before I realized, holy shit, that's Captain Jane as the cook.
Captain Janeway? You didn't realize that?
It took me forever to put... Well, that she had the stupid Russian accent.
Okay, that's fair.
But she kept whipping out that phaser.
It took me 2 minutes. Well, that and I don't like to think about Voyager, but that's a topic for another day.
That's a different episode.
That's a whole nother
episode. But yeah, Crazy Jane, fantastic character. Also goes through a tremendous arc. Also,
so much trauma.
Has a great way of dealing. Like, well, I wouldn't say she has a great, but the show does a great job of showing the way that she deals with that trauma. That's really fucking kind of wild.
And also, that she kind of deals with it, but there's still more. Like it's a thing where it's like it's like one battle at a time. She won a battle, and
it's a reminder that trauma isn't something that you can just fix. Trauma is something that you have to learn to live with, and you have to deal with for the rest of your life. You just have to cope, and that's part of what a lot of the show is really just all of these broken characters learning how to cope with their traumas.
I mean, you're right, and that's kind of what makes the comic interesting. in my opinion, because it does a lot of the same kind of things, even though they might introduce these flaws in a different way, or these characters that are in the TV show, in the comic as well, might have a different flaw in the comic. But the comic does a really good job of doing that as well.
I mean, the way I would surmise it is the Fantastic Four shtick for most of its run has been for superheroes that didn't really want to be superheroes. I feel like Doom Patrol is for superheroes that were, either they had traumatic things happen to them or they were causing traumatic things to happen to people before they became superheroes.
I wouldn't even say that. I feel like it's for broken, traumatized people
that now have
superpowers and are in a situation where they kind of have to deal with their shit in order to fix everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Which kind of in a way makes it feel more real on an emotional level, as opposed to like a fantastical level. Like, you don't. No situation that they're in is in any way, shape, or form fucking normal.
No, it's definitely less of a like a Superman situation where it's like here's this concept of hope and justice and doing the right thing in a person form. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. It's more about them just trying to get by.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to spoil something. Because we already talked about how we were going to spoil things anyway. But what makes things really interesting is that a lot of their trauma, and I can't say a lot of their trauma because these when they were like regular people beforehand, they already went through a bunch of trauma. But their like big disaster, I guess, that gave them their powers, all set up by Niles, the guy they're calling Chief, the guy that they're looking to help me fix my problem. He caused it.
Yeah.
He caused all of them.
He caused all of them.
So it's not even just Jane. It's not just Cliff. It's not Larry. It's not just Rita, but it's also Cyborg.
Paul is going to be really, really upset when he comes in and listens to this part because he's not going to know what the fuck just happened.
We gave a spoiler.
I mean, to be fair, you do kind of see it coming, but it's still great.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely felt I when I was watching it, because again, I went into Doom Patrol blind. And it's one of those things that like I kind of am really, really glad I did, because I got to enjoy it a lot more. I had no comparison to make. I had no like, oh, but this is different from the comics. Oh, but this is this. Oh, but this is that. No, it was great because I just didn't have that. So I could just be there and just say, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah, no. And I definitely get that. Like, where I was still able to like really like immensely enjoy the show. I really like Larry Trainer as Negative Man in the comics, because he's got this just like really dry, like kind of awful sense of humor.
Oh, so good.
And him and Robot Man play off each other very well.
Yeah.
But you only get like a part of that in the show. So I'm like, while I really enjoy Matt Bomber as Larry Trainer, I was like, give me more of that because it's great. But I was also a little bummed out that I'm like, oh, but I'm not getting the thing. Like, I'm not getting a 1-to-1 representation. You know what I mean?
I feel like they jam-packed a lot of that, and they probably traded off a lot of Robot Man and Jane's relationship for that.
You know where you actually get it more in that Titans episode. That was the
backdoor pilot.
The backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
So just one of the things to mention. Titans did an episode where Raven meets Beast Boy. And Beast Boy takes her to the house where they all live, where the Doom Patrol lives, because Beast Boy was part of, in the comics, is part of the Doom Patrol.
See, he's their mascot.
Yes, he is their mascot.
He's their mascot? Was Cyborg also a part of the Doom Patrol at that point?
No, at that point, no, I don't believe so. But you get to see Elastigirl, you get to see Robot Man, and you get to see Larry Trainer. And Negative Man, Larry Trainer, is a lot more like that dry wit that you get from the comic that Ed's talking about. But they bounced 100%. Off. But again, you get to see that and it bounces off really well. But I guess in a way, everything that happens in the story of the TV show happens, I believe, before that.
I think so.
They had, because they definitely had Robot Man in the pilot episode. Because I could always remember, because it starts off with Negative Man doing that epic cooking montage.
God, those steaks look great.
Oh my!
Man. I get hungry looking at them every time.
God, that food in that scene looked amazing.
Those onion rings.
But then, then you see like Jane eats very little of it. Robot Man is like looking at the food, lamenting that he can't eat, and then Rita is like just scarfing down all of it.
Everything. Like she's got like chicken and waffles covered in spaghetti on a burger bun. Like,
if I remember correctly, at that point, Robot Man's asking,
Raven,
what it tastes like. Raven, what does it taste like? Can you tell me how it feels?
It's so sad. Like,
but the way he's doing it's also really funny. But it's really sad.
Yeah,
that's what I feel so horrible about. Is because like there's a lot of scenes like that where it's kind of comedic in the way it's being delivered by Brendan Fraser, but at the same time, like if he was delivering it any different way, it would be so sad.
I gotta give a lot of credit to Brendan Fraser on that, man. I know he's not underneath the suit.
No, same thing with Matt Bomer for Larry Trainer. He's not playing the physical person.
They're only doing the voice. They're pretty much doing voice acting, which is in and of itself is really difficult.
Very difficult.
To emote that kind of response too, though. And again, you got to give credit to the people who are actually underneath the suits as well. They're doing a great job too.
They got to physically emote.
Yeah. No, all I got to say is that show is really, really well done. And I'm really, really excited for season 2.
Yeah. Like I don't want to be like, there's no reason that this show is as good as it is. I mean, because there is. The writing staff's fantastic, but and everybody on it's been great. They're knocking it out of the park. But I'm really excited for this show.
I mean, this is like one of those shows where I tell people like, dude, just sign up for DC Universe for like a week and just watch that show, and then you can like unsubscribe. Like I don't care that you don't like DC. Just watch that.
Yeah, just watch that show, and then maybe stay for Titans because that show is surprisingly really good.
I wasn't a fan.
Did you see season 2?
No, I didn't get that far.
That's
the wife really liked it though.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that first season's interesting because it's Jeff Johns going. But what if we wrote a gritty, grim, dark, realistic version of these teen sidekicks?
Yeah, I'm sick of that.
Yeah, it's fair. They kind of course correct everything like halfway through the season, and then they course correct it even more in like the episode 1 of season 2. They're just like, it's a superhero show now.
Oh, I hope they course correct even further and do a live action Teen Titans Go.
Oh my god!
And everybody just gets serious.
Yeah. Oh, they're not. That's course correcting that wraps back around.
Please have Nick Cage cameo as Superman some more, please.
Guys, let's bring it back. Let's not forget we got a Doom Patrol Go episode at one point.
Wait,
yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
What?
Teen Titans Go did a Doom Patrol Go episode.
I need to see this. Oh my god!
I think they got all the voices from the Doom Patrol show.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. Yeah, that was good.
I forgot about that. That was really funny.
Yeah, me too.
I love Teen Titans Go is just so willing to do DC deep cuts and then just make fun of their own properties.
Yeah.
And also just kind of revel in the ridiculousness of comic book characters as it is. Like, what an awesome show.
Yeah, like I get it that there's a generation of people that are like, this isn't the cartoon I grew up with. I'm like, you're right, it's not. It's a comedy show for kids.
Yeah.
But also a celebration of DC Comics.
Exactly, because the writing staff knows that the kids aren't watching, and they know it's like.
But they also did a great job making fun of those fans too in that show.
That's all they do now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's fantastic. That's perfect because we're the kind of people who just enjoy to watch the show because we enjoy watching it, but we're not going to sit there and nitpick. I mean, we do sometimes, but
yeah, we do sometimes. But we like Nick Cage's Superman, genius casting. Like Teen Titans Go to the movies, just go watch it.
That's such a great movie. Oh, so good.
Oh man,
so good.
Best DC movie since Superman Returns.
Such a good movie. I mean, yeah.
I enjoy the Teen Titans Go to the movies. I really enjoyed that.
Dude, it was fantastic.
Oh man. So who did the after the Grant Morrison run? Who was the next guy? You said Jeff Johns?
Keith Giffen. So he didn't write it like directly after him, but that's like the next like really big like seminal run. Because Gerard Way, once he picks it up, draws a lot from Grant Morrison and Keith Giffen's run. Like they're kind of like if Keith Giffen's run is a sequel to what Grant Morrison did, Gerard Way's writing the trilogy.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Because there's that breakdown of Danny in the first trailer of Gerard Way's one, and he's talking about how like Danny was a street, and then he got destroyed, and then he was a brick, and then the brick turned into a bungalow, and then like some other shit happened, and then he turned into an ambulance.
Mm-hmm.
That's him literally going through like Grant Morrison's run, Keith Gibbons' run, and now he's an ambulance.
Gotcha. Yeah, I read a little bit of the Gerard Way run, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. And as somebody that was familiar with the comics, it's like all the little callbacks and stuff. It's like that's super cool. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
So,
But what's good about that run though is that you don't need it. Like you can jump in blind. Like you could jump in blind, and that could be the first Doom Patrol thing you read, and it's still really good.
Yeah, I mean, like they had it at my library. That's how I read it, and all I had done was watch the first season of the show, and I picked it up, and I got it. I felt,
Oh yeah, it's great. And I do love the inclusion of Flex Mentallo in that.
Yeah, he was good in it.
Who I wanted to talk about because he's great in the show.
Oh yeah,
So good.
so good.
So Flex Mentallo, he's got the powers of the beach. No, I'm sorry. He's got the powers of muscle memory.
Yeah.
What does that
So
mean?
not exactly. I don't know. He flexes and things happen.
Yeah. He's like a physical psychic, He has to move himself to make things
he's
happen.
like a DC comic version of Terry Crews from the Old Spice commercials.
That is
accurate.
that is accurate. That is very accurate.
I mean,
Yeah, that's perfect.
to be fair, he does flex and gives everybody on Danny the Street an orgasm.
Except Robot Man.
Who
And Robot Man's so confused.
That scene is great. Oh, that scene is perfect.
I mean, he's able to flex people in and out of existence.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has to flex correctly. Like there's a subtlety to it.
By the way, Hacker, for your information, it's actually an episode of Young Justice Outsiders called
Oh my
Nightmare
God.
Monkeys, where the Beast Boy character from Young Justice puts on a VR helmet and has like a nightmare of him going through different incarnations of himself.
I remember this. Okay, that's what it was.
Yes, that's
Oh,
what
I
it
that's
haven't
is.
watched Young
incredible.
Justice.
Yes.
Like, oh, that show's great.
It really
Yes.
is.
Yes. So just I put a link to a bunch of Easter egg stuff from Doom Patrol Go and a link to the actual episode on DC Universe.
I love it.
Aquaman.
That's
Aqualad
great.
is still a dumb name, though.
Oh, I mean, it's not great, but like hell, look at the Legion of Superheroes. They're all like Lightning Lad and like Lightning Lass. Like it's awful, but it's awesome. Like it's so
Comic
stupid.
books are
and-
quirky.
Yeah, like it's so stupid, but like it's kind of fun.
Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Let's not forget when most of these comic books were created. Like you don't get much in ways of imaginativism. I mean, Robot Man.
He's a robot and a man.
He's
What
a
more,
robot.
what more do you want?
He's a man
Yeah.
and a robot.
Well, I mean, if he was a cop, he'd be called RoboCop, and then, well, actually, no, they're both owned by Warner Brothers, so it would have been okay.
Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
I love it.
Anything else you want to bring up about Doom Patrol that we think is worth
Um,
mentioning? I mean, like I said, the Gerard Way run, man, I read that, and finally I understood Danger Days.
Oh, wasn't Danger Days the
The third Mike
that have-
album.
Yeah, didn't that have Sing on it? And
Yes.
that other song. I like that album.
I mean, I
bad.
will. A nice thing to kind of add to that is Gerard Way is also the guy who wrote
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy. Yes, thank you. So
Well,
that's
'cause-
another really great show if you want to watch some good comic book TV while you're in.
I gotta get.
in quarantine.
I gotta get into that. We started Lock and Key. If you're looking for another comic book show to watch,
Do it. Watch it.
it's good.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm only one episode in, but I like it. I just didn't know that Bode's name was actually pronounced Bodhi, and it makes me sad.
I know my world was
Yeah, that
shattered.
doesn't
Yeah.
bode well.
No,
It doesn't bode you well either.
no, 100% doesn't bode well. That kid is so precious. I would take a bullet for him. Like,
I don't. I hate that kid.
really,
Bodhi?
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. I
dare
watched honestly that might be the reason why I didn't finish it. I started watching it and just kind of was like
That
You
that
can-
take is molten to me.
Right? Like you need to read it, Paulo.
Is there an active volcano in Staten Island right now? Because what a take. That's the hottest take.
Like that little kid's fucking annoying. Like
I'm pretty sure the heat in Paulo's apartment right now is like 45 degrees Kelvin.
Oh,
shit!
Like,
He invoked the name of Kelvin on your ass.
he's getting scientific.
I'm pretty sure the invocation of Kelvin is either the name of my new like math rock band or like Kelvin Invoker. Definitely sounds like some kind of trip hop band from the 90s. Like,
Yeah, definitely some jazzcore math, whatever.
Kelvin
some
experience.
post-progressive Bieber chords.
Bieber core? Oh my god, that has to be a thing. I hope.
oh god. Wash your hands, guys. Wash your hands.
Please wash your hands. Paulo doesn't have to. His skin's melted off.
You ever see that it's that panel of the Punisher running over Wolverine with a not a cement mixer,
A Zamboni?
shit, no, it's not a Zamboni. It's like the big not dump truck. Why can't I pull
A
this?
Ford
Oh my
Pinto.
god. Sure. He hits him with a big fucking car and he like lit his face on fire before that, so you just see like the fucking Wolverine adamantium skeleton in his face as he's getting hit by a giant construction vehicle. That's Paulo right now.
Because Staten Island's an active volcano.
No, but Paulo's apartment is an active volcano right now. The hottest it takes.
Oh god.
You guys want another quick hot take before we go?
Yes.
Please.
Stay safe, everybody.
Ooh, hot take.
Ooh, stay
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
stay hot out there.
Good night, everybody.
All of the music that you have heard is the song Dance Rocket off the album Descent of the Goober Monster by Jesse Spillane. It is licensed under Attribution 4.0 International CC by 4.0 license off freemusicarchive.org. If you have a question, a topic you would like us to cover, or simply wish to tell us all of the facts that we have screwed up, feel free to email us at laymansguidetothemultiverse@gmail.com. Also, feel free to visit us at our website at laymansguidetothemultiverse.com.